Hello, I am Ransom Ryder. I'm hanging out in the kitchen. I'm making a really special treat today. This is a Belgian style waffle. This will be, inspired by the Liege Belgian waffle. And I'm excited to be able to do this. It's a first time for me, so I know this is a lot of ingredients. It is. This is where the magic happens, right here in the kitchen. Let's make these waffles. Now I have here some warm water. This water is at or below 110 degrees. You know, you want this to be between 100, 110 degrees. And I'm gonna pop into this room temperature, basically water. This is some active dry yeast. Let's sprinkle the top of this till it's just covered. That looks good. It's covered. I had a little extra there. Over there you go. Now, this active dry yeast, I'm just gonna whisk this a little bit. It's gonna blend with the water. And then I'm going to take this and add it to my bread flour. This bread flour is a high protein flour, and I'm gonna add my active dry yeast in. And I'm gonna let this set at room temperature for 12 to 24 hours because this has to do its thing. That yeast has to create the magic, and it will work with this bread flour, this high protein bread flour, to create a wonderful, it's called a Poolish. And this will sit up and become really something special. The chemical reactions in this flour with this yeast and water. Now I am told, I have not had these Belgian waffles this style before to my knowledge. So, all right, that's gonna go into a room temperature zone. I'm gonna cover it. Let's leave this covered 12 to 24 hours. Let's set it aside. And I just happened to have on hand, because I knew that I was gonna be making this, my Poolish ready to go. Now, this I made yesterday. It's been setting for about 18 hours, I would say at this point, not quite 24. So this, I wanna start making the magic happen. So this is gonna need unsalted butter, whole milk, buttermilk, vanilla extract, eggs, sugar, a whole list of ingredients. I'm gonna get my pan together and we're gonna start with melting the butter. This is a unsalted whole fat butter, the real deal. This is the real deal. And I'm gonna pop this in because I want this to start melting. We're gonna brown this butter. It's gonna give an extra depth of flavor. That was about a stick and a half. What is that in grams? That is 165 grams of butter. Everybody over in Europe and folks on the metric system, thank you for hanging out with me. Journeying into the kitchen is just that, a journey. And you wanna be here with friends, right? It's the reason sometimes that we cook, we have big get-togethers. I love to have friends over to hang out. We cook together, we share recipes. If you're watching my video as I make these Belgian waffles, be sure that you send me your favorite Belgian waffle recipe. Now waffles, it's one of those things that you can have really any time of the day, night, whenever you're craving a snack. A waffle would certainly fit the need. My butter is starting to heat up. I can smell the aroma. This is gonna kind of get a nutty smell when it starts to brown. And what we're looking for is for the water, the moisture content, the water to evaporate off. We'll see this start to bubble. That way we know it's working. My mom lived in a region of the country up in the Smoky Mountains where they really didn't have access to a gas line. The gas had to be carried in on a gigantic truck. So for that reason, she mainly used electric to cook with. She had gas, natural gas, and propane outside, but inside it was electric. And when I would visit and hang out with my parents, my family, I always loved to cook and get in the kitchen with them, but I always missed my gas stove. What do you use? Electric or gas? Leave me a comment. Which do you prefer and why? I would love to hear from you. Now you can see this is really got a boil going on. That moisture is evaporating. We're going to get that out of the butter and it will start to brown. All right, you can see, I hope the overhead is picking that up. This is starting to foam, and right there, the butter browned. You can see those little bits, and that water is cooking off. Let me give this just a little bit longer. All right, and I'm gonna turn that off because that butter, it has browned. I see the little bits in the butter that's going to be all that deep, rich, wonderful flavor. Let me get this moved out of the way and we'll move on to the next step. These are Belgian waffles. Now I need to come in and I'm going to add some milk to this because we want to cool this butter down. You know, the clarified butter, it smells so good, browned butter. Now this is a whole milk. I'm going to add this in. Be sure you refer to my recipe below because this will give you the exact measurements on this. But this is a refrigerated whole milk. Let's pop it right in. In it goes. I'm going to set that to the side. Let's give it a stir. Make sure all those beautiful brown bits are pulled up from the bottom. Now this will cool down the temperature because I'm going to be adding buttermilk. Buttermilk is going to give us another layer of flavor to these Belgian waffles. So that has cooled off a bit. Let's add this buttermilk in. This is a whole fat buttermilk. And I'm adding this in once it has cooled down from the milk, because I don't want this to separate, split, curdle. And if you put the buttermilk into something that was a little bit too hot, it could certainly do that to you. I do want my waffle to be pretty, right? You want it to look good. All right, that is looking fantastic. It's smelling good. I'm ready to add the egg. This is 1 egg. Let's pop it in. And I think I will switch to a whisk so I can get that egg fully incorporated. I don't want a scrambled egg. I just want the egg to incorporate. And that was cool enough, definitely, to get my egg incorporated. Look how beautiful that is. That looks good. And that has cooled my pan off. So I'm gonna set this to the side. It's looking good. It smells fantastic. Let's set my egg container out of the way. Now I'm going to bring over some more dry ingredients. This again is bread flour. It's a high protein. We're going to mix in my dry ingredients, my salt, my baking powder, all going in. Set that to the side. And this is sugar. Refer to that recipe. Sugar goes in. Tap it, get it all out. And then let's whisk this. I need a dry whisk. All right, that's looking good, fully incorporated. Now I'm going to bring over my Poolish and I'm going to add my ingredients into this. I'm going to take my flour, buttermilk, milk mixture, my brown flour, and I'm going to pop it in. All right, now I want to get my whisk and whisk in my Poolish with these wet ingredients. All right, and that's breaking this Poolish up. I want it to incorporate with my wet ingredients. I want all of these mixed in. It's not the prettiest batter at this point, but that's okay. We just want it to taste good and fulfill the need for a Belgian waffle. And I think what I will do is, in order to mix my dry ingredients in, I want to get a bigger bowl. All right, I'm going to pop this right into my bigger bowl. Otherwise, I'm going to end up making a mess. I don't want a mess. I really prefer fewer dishes. I underestimated how much of a bowl I needed, but we've corrected course. We're back on course. We're going to land this plane. All right, let's get that out of the way. Continue to whisk this. And at this point, I really want to go ahead and turn my waffle oven on. You want to make sure your waffle iron is preheated, so this is a good point to probably turn your waffle iron on. I'm going to go ahead and pop in some of my dry ingredients, and we're going to mix all of these in. All of our ingredients are now coming together. The consistency on this batter is looking fantastic. I'm just taking my whisk and going down the sides. And this will look a little lumpy. You will not be able to get this absolutely smooth. And that's okay. That's how this batter looks. Now, I want to add one of my last little additions. This pearl sugar came in from Belgium. And it is really important step in a Belgian waffle. Let's give it a taste. So good. I feel like I would like more of those. Now, I have popped those in. This is looking absolutely fantastic. I'm going to put my last addition in. I probably should have put this in a little bit earlier. Some extra vanilla flavor. That's my home brew. I really love it. Let's get that incorporated into the batter. Don't forget your vanilla flavor because it's really a tasty treat. Inside of many desserts, vanilla flavor, yeah. It's what you want. All right, that's looking absolutely excellent. I'm gonna spray this, it's heated. I'm gonna spray it with a little bit of easy release, non-stick spray. Let's get a spoonful of batter in this waffle maker and get the first waffle out. All right, I'm just gonna eyeball it. That looks pretty good. Let's close it up. And then flip it. All right, let's take a look at this and see if it's ready. I can smell it. I've seen a little smoke come out of it. Is it ready? Let's open it up. Oh, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna pop that on my plate. Let's do another one while this is still hot. All right, let's get some batter in there. Big scoop. All right, that's looking good. Maybe I did it right this time. A big scoop in, and let's get this thing flipped and browned. All right, now this is my first waffle out. Let's get a little bit of syrup on this. This is maple syrup. And let's give it a taste test. Come on, be good. Oh, this Belgian waffle. Absolutely tasty, delicious, excellent. Crunchy exterior, soft on the inside. That yeasted bread, the dough, so good, so good. Call your mama. You're gonna wanna share this recipe. Belgian waffles made from scratch. I am Ransom Ryder. Come hang out with me as I cook in the kitchen. Let's have some fun. Send me a recipe for your favorite Belgian waffle. I would love to hear from you. I will see you the next time I'm hanging out in the kitchen. I'm gonna make a few of these. Come on over. Bye, bye.